Hello, and welcome to the Lightworker Diaries, a space for reflection, truth-telling, and soulful remembering. My name is Tiffany, and I am a truth teller, a mystic, and a mirror. These are transmissions from my heart to yours, an archive of channeled wisdom, lived stories, and the real work of becoming. May something in here stir something in you. Hello, my friend, and welcome back to the Lightworker Diaries. Before we jump into today's episode, I just want to remind you that I am offering channeled transmissions for the Lionsgate portal. We started on July 26th. We are going all the way through August 12th when the portal closes. And each day, I am dropping into the energies that are available to support the activations, initiations, clearings, and everything else that is coming up through this portal to support you in transitioning into the person that you've been wanting to become. So if this is something that is of interest to you, please drop into the show notes, click the link. They are free to join, so you can listen to them in whatever time and space feels right for you. Or if you'd like to offer a donation, I thank you for supporting the transmission. So let's jump into today's episode. I have some very, very exciting news to share. And I realized that I may have misinformed you in the Quantum Leap episode. In that episode, I talked about the fact that most people miss the part where you have to take action to get into alignment with what you are manifesting. And I just had a major manifestation come through that I did nothing to receive. Well, nothing but receive. And so right now I'm questioning my advice a little bit, because when I listened back to that Quantum Leap episode, I realized that there was a small piece of old programming coming through that said you have to do to receive. And I don't know if that is true anymore. I don't know if that is true, because we just had a paid travel opportunity land for us that I did nothing other than say to the universe, I want to travel and create. The universe is the only one. Well, actually, you guys know. But I didn't go out and search for a travel opportunity. It came to me. So let's dive into this, because this is part of not only the Quantum Leap process, but the alchemical process. Some of you already know this, but in case you did not, I studied alchemy with a shaman about 8 years ago. So this is something I've been perfecting, mastering, moving through for several years. And there are 7 stages of alchemy. And there is one stage in particular that I get to and I can't handle. And being a type A high achiever like me, my guess is you might do the same thing. So let's talk about it. This is the 4th stage in the alchemical process, and it's called fermentation. And when I first learned about fermentation, it's actually, let me back up a little bit. So your first phase, first 2-3 phases, you're breaking down what was, right? You're starting to destroy, peel away, change, shift what was in order to create space for what will be. And in the fermentation phase, the hardest part is you just went through this very destructive black phase of alchemy where you were taking things apart, and now you have to sit in the discomfort of the chaos, the confusion, the darkness, and wait for the first signs of life to appear. And the way that this was described to me that has just made so much sense is when you make sauerkraut, you take cabbage, the other ingredients, you put it into a pot, you cover that pot, and then you don't touch it. You let it be. And slowly it starts to ferment. The bubbles start to form. The cabbage changes its state. That is fermentation. literally and alchemically. You are waiting for those first bubbles to show a new life coming into existence. If you take the lid off that pot and stir the sauerkraut to encourage the process to go faster, you have to start all over. I am a proverbial fermentation pot stirrer. That's what I do. I'm like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And all I'm doing is prolonging the inevitable embodiment of what is. And so the reason I share this with you and how this worked with this huge manifestation that's coming through for me is I said, I want to travel and write. I said, I want to be a creator who experiences this world. And I didn't go out and actively try to find opportunities. Instead, I anchored into the identity of someone who travels and creates. And I let myself start creating while I let the universe figure out the traveling component, because I can create anywhere. And my intention is that I will always be able to create anywhere and everywhere. So I have allowed my energy to focus on these podcast recordings, on the channeled transmissions that I'm doing every day, on the content creation that I'm doing, on building the relationships and comments and DMs. I'm focusing on the creativity and the connection building. And because I didn't, how would I say that? I kind of just said dear universe, you take care of this part. I'll focus on this part. You take care of that part. And I trust that it'll come when the time is right. And the universe was like, cool, here, we're going to have your friend call. She needs somebody to dog sit and house sit for a month. All you have to do is say yes. And that's what we did. That's what we did, you guys. And this is a city that we have wanted to move to. And we are getting to go and stay there for an entire month and test it out. Trial run the city that we have both been longing to live in for an entire month. I mean, seriously, dream come true. One, I've been talking to several people who are doing kind of slow travel, going somewhere for, a month or 2 months or 3 months. And I'm like, oh, that sounds just so lovely. Like enough time to sink into a place and get to know it and decide is this a place for me or is it not? And not feel that pressure to hurry up and go on to the next place. That is exactly what we are getting. And it's coming because I didn't cling to it. I didn't micromanage the process. I didn't say, don't worry, I've got this, and just go plan something, which I could have done. Instead, I said, I'll take this part, you take that part, and let's see where we land. And not gonna lie, the universe delivered way faster than I would have. And in a way that I would have never thought to. We're getting paid to go. My path, I would have paid to go. And so the next time you're thinking to yourself, I just want this, maybe it's time to hand it over to the universe and say, you take care of this part. I'm going to focus on this. Thank you for delivering. Thank you for being reliable. Thank you for showing me that I can trust you, and do it. So I also want to mention that when something is meant for you, it will happen. But sometimes we have to get out of our own way. I knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that my future self travels and she writes. But I was so caught up in needing the money to figure out how to do that I was getting spun around in this circle of how do I get this so I can do that? And the moment that I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be that future version of me who creates every single day. I'm going to be the version of me who already has the life of her dreams and know that the universe is working out the details on my behalf. And I stopped thinking about money all the time. I stopped a lot of things that I was doing because I felt like I was not good enough yet to do the things I needed to do, to make the money I needed to make, to live the life I needed to live. Over the last 6 weeks, I have said no to more things, canceled more things, signed up and then decided not to attend or even left in the middle of, which I cannot even begin to tell you how uncomfortable that would have made my younger self feel. But I have said no to the things that I signed up for or did out of obligation or this is just how I'm supposed to be in order to start saying yes to the things that I really, really want. And the more space that I create for the life that I want to live, the faster I am aligning with it. In my head, there is no doubt in my mind that the reason why this invitation came in as quickly as it did is because I stopped getting in the way. It's funny, when I was talking to AI about my episode to create for today, I usually have it ask me several questions to develop the idea, to come up with a kind of high-level outline. And it was asking me, like, what was the moment that you received this invitation? What was that like? And the image that came to me was so perfect. It was the Christmas present that was bought in July. The gift was always mine. The purchase was already made. It was wrapped and ready to go, but it was waiting for the perfect time to give it to me. That is what your heart desires for you. That thing that you can't stop thinking about, it's already purchased. It's already wrapped. It's already under the tree. It's waiting for you to stop running around from store to store trying to find that thing because it's already under your tree. And now I get it. When you've spent your entire life shopping for what you need because you're thinking you're the only one who can get it for yourself, because you're super hyper independent and trust isn't your operating system, I get it because I was there. It's hard. It's hard to say, I'm going to let go and trust that someone's going to show up for me when all of your life no one has. I get it. And you have an opportunity to decide if that's how you want to continue to live. You get to decide. You can absolutely continue living that way. You can absolutely continue not trusting yourself, not trusting the universe, not trusting the people in your life. You can absolutely decide that. And you know where that path leads because it's the path that got you here. Or you can decide differently. You can start small. Don't put a big life-changing moment on the universe. That's a life or death decision that if the universe fails, you're like, see, I told you so. Too much pressure. Too much pressure for the universe and for you. Pick something small. Send me a free coffee. Buy me flowers. Give me a great parking spot. The trust muscle that you build starts small, and every time you use it, it gets better. It gets stronger. It gets bigger. One act of trust each day will change your life. But you have to lean in and do the uncomfortable thing. You have to decide that you'll let yourself be supported, that you will let yourself be taken care of. You have to not stir the proverbial sauerkraut, even though you think it's going to speed up the process. I'm really honestly curious. How many of you are starting to notice the energetic shift that is happening? I mentioned it at the beginning of this episode, but the last week, the first week of the Lionsgate portal was energetically intense. Exhaustion. My legs for 2 days were sore as if I had done deadlifts at the gym for like 24 hours. I could barely walk. I was so sore. Feeling great one moment and then needing to lay out flat on the earth the next. Wild energies. Clearings. Soul deep, energetic, deep clearings. But on Friday, I recorded a channeled transmission that spoke to the tipping point, that spoke to the shift that is happening, the moment when you're learning how to ride a bicycle and you hit that balance point for the first time and you feel like you can ride forever. But then a couple pedals later, you're like, oh, just kidding. I might be a little wobbly still. We're there. We're there. And I would love to hear how that is showing up for you. If learning about this energetic piece, if being in community and collaboration with your guides and being supported through these transmissions is helpful for you, remember to go check out those show notes and join the transmission. Start tuning in. You're not behind. Your soul chose this moment right now to receive this, and it's perfect for you. Your intuition knows exactly what you need. And whether that's just listening to 2 episodes and those are the perfect episodes for you, or binge the whole dang list, trust yourself. Flex that trust muscle right here, right now. Tune in, feel into it, decide, is this for me? And no is a completely acceptable answer too. You can get just as much trust out of a aligned no as an aligned yes. That's all I got for you today. Can't wait to see you again very, very soon. Thank you for listening to the Lightworker Diaries. If something stirred in you today, take a breath and let it land. To go deeper, you can subscribe to the written diaries on Substack. You'll find a link in the show notes. Until next time, be true to you.